Hello, in this video I just want to talk short about the basic SQL statements you can do with my database: update, insert, delete, and of course select. And yeah, if you have downloaded and installed or extracted the database, you can fire the first SQL. Something like select star from table 1, everything which is there, 1 equals 1. And yeah, the syntax of the normal select is first the keyword, then the column clause, either star in the GUI and command line in Windows version. Remember, in the Linux version it's all, not star, in the command line, and yeah. But you of course can select single columns like C1, C2, C3, C4. These are the internal column names. Every column has a standard name or internal name from C1 to C38, because you have in every 20 tables or in every 20 tables 38 columns. In the simple statements like this, you may use alias names as well. For example, customer name or last name, whatever alias name you gave them or want to give them. But if you have more complex statements like and this clause equals this clause, and this clause equals this clause, and so on, then you have to use internal names like C1 and T1. Yeah, for example, here the alias name for T1 is customers, and T2 is employees, and so on. Of course, you cannot only select everything, but for example, less or equal than 10. This is with where clause row K10. And if we do so, we see the rows equal or less than 10. Of course, we can do this with greater or equal, for example 200. Then we have everything greater or equal to 100. And the third row option is between. For example, 44 and 127, 6, I mean. And here we go. And the most important word clause is, of course, column has the value X or Y. For example, like this. And yeah, as I said, you can concatenate it with and, for example, like this. And then you have the result. Same syntax in the command line version, but if you use and other word clauses, then you have to use internal names. Otherwise, if you only have very simple queries like this, you can, for example, use contact last name. Yeah, that's it. Of course, we can insert something. We say insert into with a single space between, and then the table name. Same thing here, you can use alias name like customers, but for demonstration purposes I just write T1 for table 1. And just write the values semicolon separated, like and you may use nasty signs as well. Everything except the forbidden signs. And if you do so, the result is this is an example text and so on. If you have more than 10 rows you can insert at once. I would recommend to do so because it's just faster. And then you can use a bulk insert. It's written like this. And not forget the space sign after the table part. And in the bulk insert you may not use alias names. In normal insert this is not a problem, you may use it in the work clause as well, but not in a bulk insert. There you have to use the internal name like T1, don't forget the space sign, and then you can write line by line the datasets. For example, yeah, and very important, the last line is end of statement. If you do not do this, the last line will not be inserted. Yeah, so an additional line with end of statement, and then everything is going like expected. Here we go. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I forgot 3, did I? Yeah, 1, 2, 4, 5. Everything is fine. Yeah, this is bulk insert. Of course we can update this. We can say update table 1 or customers. Then what we want to update, in this case we want C5 equals 3, where row between four. 3 3 is correct, but what was the other problem? Four, here we go. Just to test. Aha. Very well. Yeah, this is how update works. Same work clauses like select, row less than, row greater than, between, and of course where column name equals, we can say 3 t value 2, and where c5 equals test. Then we have the value updated where the condition was met. Delete is of course possible as well. We can say delete table 1 row greater than 2 4 7. And then everything greater than 247 is deleted. Yeah, that's everything. Update, insert, delete. Always the same where clauses, row greater than, row less than, between, and where column equals value. And yeah, you can concatenate multiple where clauses, but then you have no alias mapping anymore. You can say, for example, c3 equals frick, and I forget what we have then. Frick and c4 equals Steve. Oops. Yeah, and then we have this result, but I will discuss the end syntax together with other statements like create foreign key and things like that. Renaming over SQL is possible as well. You may load the alias names over the GUI, change them here and save them via button click, or you execute the corresponding SQL like rename or rencall, which means rename column. At this point I want to point on the documentation on the website. If you go to the simple documentation, you see some examples how to do what, and yeah, that's it for now. In another video I tell more about the complex AND work clauses and how to use the database programmatically. Yeah, then have a nice day.